In this Line Vision update presented by CBNS Bank, we're talking with UNA senior soccer player Kate Wiseman, who's actually overseas in England. Kate, thank you so much for taking the time to make this digital connection with us.
That's all right. Thank you for having me.
Now, you're back home in England. Tell UNA fans sort of where you're from and where you're at right now.
So I'm from Andover, England, which is sort of south of England and everything. But currently I'm actually at the beach in Devon, enjoying the not so sunny weather here. But no, it's been good. Nice little week away.
Your summer vacation, how does the beach there compare to the beaches here in Alabama?
It's a lot similar to Alabama, but the water is significantly colder, I would say, and we don't have as much sun or as much heat. But it's still a nice little getaway, I guess.
So you got to go home in May. When you arrived back home, what's the first thing that you did?
I honestly, it was just hug my parents, and then because of the jet lag, I had a bit of a nap, to be honest. Yeah, nice little rest, and then sort of eat a classic roast dinner and everything, one of my favorite English meals, and then get back to life really at home, just see family and friends.
That was gonna be my next question. What's the food over there that you miss most that you just had to get?
It was a roast dinner for me with Yorkshire puddings and all the chicken and potatoes and all that lot. It's sort of what I miss the most is my family roast dinners.
Now there's 3 other UNA players from England back home as well. UNA has a long tradition of players from overseas coming over and playing, but to have 3 other teammates from your home country, does that make the experience all the more better?
Yeah, I love having people from England because you can sort of just relate, and like if you're ever like a little bit homesick, I know I've got at least the girls from England as well as from Europe and everything to just, they know what I'm going through, so I can always go to them, and it's just great. It's like a little family away from home in a way.
So tell us your story to North Alabama. What was the recruitment like? How do you go from Andover, England to Florence, Alabama?
So you sort of, for me, I went through an agency, and they're obviously used to helping girls from England or Europe come over into America. So I sort of went through the agency. Mine was called Pass for Soccer, and got involved with them, had a few meetings, and then I had this thing called a showcase day where American coaches came over and watched us play sort of like 11v11 games, and we played about 3 of those. So I think Chris and Holly were there. They came over and watched me at my showcase day. And then a few days after that, I got an email from them being like, hey, like interested and whatnot. And then sort of from there, you just sort of start talking, you figure out which school's the best for you, which team's the best for you, like coaches and everything. And I just felt comfortable talking to both Chris and Holly via email, via FaceTime. And that was sort of how I ended up at UNA.
You arrive on campus as a freshman. What were your initial impressions of Florence, Alabama?
That was my first time ever in America, so I was quite like, it was quite eye-opening, I guess, and very new to me because hadn't even been on holiday there. But I really like how Florence is like not the biggest city, but it's big enough for me, and it's just, you make your own fun there, and I just fit in straight away. Like Florence is, it's quite homey as well. You sort of see people you recognize around, and I quite like that.
Now I want to talk about a moment your freshman year. You got called up to play on the England national U19 team. What was that experience like for you getting to represent your country?
It was probably one of the like memorable experiences I've ever had because I was sort of involved before I came out here. It was like a few like training camps and everything, but it was nothing too like serious. And then obviously when I found out that I'd been called up, my first call was probably to Chris Walker, being like, so Chris, by the way, I think I might be going back to England and everything. And that he was obviously really excited for me. But it was amazing, obviously, to go and like travel to another country with like girls who I haven't really played with before, but who are also English is just great. And yeah, I don't know, it was just a great experience.
3 years at UNA. Your freshman year, you were named to the all-freshman team. Sophomore year, second team all-ASUN selection. What have been some of the memorable moments and highlights for you through the first 3 seasons?
I think the most memorable one for me was our first ever D1 game, like the first game my freshman year. It was just, because obviously that was my first game, like in America, like with all the new, it's like set up differently and everything. So honestly, I think I remember that day. We probably had one of the biggest crowds we had. It was a night game. It was great. It was honestly, that was probably my most memorable. Or when we played in also my freshman year, the ASUN conference tournament final at Lipscomb. even though we didn't win it, it was one of those games that like I just enjoyed. It was tough, it was tiring, but it was just to be involved in something like that and to be with the team that we had. Like I said about having international girls here, the team itself is its own little family because you spend so much time practicing, running, lifting weights, like all this traveling, and you just sort of get like a nice little close knit family. And like to have that experience playing in the final with them was just great.
Now, you still have more soccer to play at North Alabama. What excites you most about this upcoming season?
I think it's the fact that we have some great returners coming. Like obviously we've got I think it's 7 new incoming. I think it's 1 transfer and 6 freshmen. And also, but the returning classes we have now that I'm a senior and then the juniors and the sophomores, I think we've just got a great foundation for new people to come in and like be welcome to the team and then just develop from there. And I think we've got such a solid base that it can only really get better. We just need to obviously iron out a few kinks and figure out a few things. And I think this season could be great. I'm very excited for it, to be honest.
We're excited for it as well, Kate. Thanks for the time with this digital connection. Enjoy your vacation, enjoy your time back home, and we can't wait to have you back in August.
Thank you.